My name is John Jefferies and I'm the designer of the Perazzi HPX range of specialised shotguns. I've been designing and shooting shotguns for the last 50 years, and during that time I've realised that there's quite a special need for an experienced shooter to achieve his or her very best results by having a very specialised gun designed, tuned and balanced to his or her individual shape or conditions. Now this has meant that over the years there used to be a following for a shorter barreled gun, although a 30-inch gun was quite popular in the last century and in the early part of the last century, but it's been taken over gradually by longer barreled guns because they have a greater stability. They don't necessarily have a greater range unless there's other factors that have to be considered while they're being designed. But they generally have a greater stability and ease of use on longer range targets. I have continued to develop the long barreled gun, and in fact I was the first person to introduce a 32-inch gun back in the 80s, which now is the reference and the standard throughout the industry. I've now taken it further and produced a 34-inch, which is very controversial. If it's not done right, it's a very, very difficult gun to use. But to give an example, lots of shooters will pick my gun up and they'll immediately, if they know anything about shooting at all, they'll generally say this feels like a 32. So I've made a long gun feel incredibly manoeuvrable and easy to use. Shotguns are still manufactured all over the world actually nowadays, but the Italians have had a reputation for building the best factory-made guns for some time outside of Japan. We obviously make some very good guns here in the UK, but they're generally all handmade and very, very expensive. The Italians have been able to take a lot of the design factors that in fact materialised in the UK. They've put them onto some similar models that are then made in CNC factories where it's half done by machine and half done by hand, and have been able to create a niche in the market for very, very top quality factory-made guns. That's why I've picked Northern Italy, and that's still the best place in the world for these specialised guns. Although I've been doing guns for many, many years, this latest project I started about 6 years ago, and it took me 3 years to get the design right. And for the last 3 years, I have now been selling to customers, and that's taking off very well indeed. I have customers from all over the world. The farthest at the moment is Australia, but I guess some of them are actually flying in because they shoot here in any rate, because of course the UK is the one place where shooting is very, very important and followed throughout the world. But yes, I'm selling them in the continent very well, and I've just sold my first 3 to America, and apparently I'm waiting for the results, but I'm hoping that will really boost the interest internationally. So it's a pretty specialised gun. The best way to find me when interested in one of my guns is through the website. We find it's the best medium nowadays, and either through www.highpheasants.com or highclays.com, and that's got all the information plus a little video showing you the gun fitting required and what I need to do to get you a perfect designed shotgun.